Hey folks, it is Memorial Day and I went ahead and got a new car battery for my ham radio setup. I don't talk on it that much anymore, but once in a while I hop on a local repeater. But a good friend of mine, Stephanie, had a repeater at her home, and I used to come out here and talk to her on it. She's on the other side of Springfield, but she died a couple years ago, unfortunately. So she's a silent key now. That's what we call ham radio operators that passed. And the 145310 is a repeater I sometimes listen to and talk on, but I don't talk on that. That's a 2-meter repeater. So in ham radio, we call our bands by meters. So 2 meters. And then that radio also does 70 centimeters. It's just a cheap Chinesium radio. I have a special cable that you plug into the spot where the mic plugs in, and you can program it. So I programmed all the common repeaters around me, and you know, that's just my little radio out here. I have the 11-meter rig, which is a CB, civilian band, right? We just call it 11 meters, but ham radio has a close frequency called 10 meters. You can actually get a 10-meter rig and modify it so it'll talk in 11 meters, but you're not supposed to run that many watts. So I just have my 11-meter rig. I don't normally leave this hooked up, but I have, and I have an antenna up there that I can hook up, and I stretch it out across the backyard, right, so that it's tuned to the right frequency. And then just for an emergency, because I'm close to an interstate, I can get truckers, I can talk to some people on 11 meters. But I also have my ham radio out here, and that's just running some RG8, and it's running all the way up there. It runs through this SWR meter. Now this meter does 4 to 136 megahertz, which you're not quite at 136 on 2-meter ham, but you're close. So you can check your signal reflection on your antenna to make sure you're not getting a bunch of reflection. And that works fine for the 11-meter rig too. But it runs through there. It shows you your SWR, your signal reflection. So I have that antenna, and then I'll come out here and show you my antenna. I need to clean up back here, of course. This is all grown up. I need to get back here with the hedge trimmers and clean this out. But there's my antenna. And it's on a little dish network thing. And it's a PVC antenna. I built this. This is a Dr. Edward Fung antenna. It's a dual band J-pole. It's just built into a piece of PVC with a connection at the bottom. My cable comes out. I hooked it to an extra piece of galvanized tubing just to get a little more elevation on it. But I can get on all the local repeaters with that, and then tie the wire down and put a drip loop in it. And that's my main ham radio antenna. This is my high-speed wireless antenna. This is a wireless bridge that does 300 megabits, and it goes back there. Let's see if we can see it here. To the corner of my house right there, and then I have another one on my garage, so I can get my high-speed internet out here as well. And there's my camera that monitors everything. I have another camera in here inside the shed. It'll alert me if there's movement. And then right here is my wireless access point for the shed. So, but yeah, that's my ham radio. So I just had to go and buy another $59 battery that had the most cold cranking amps and turn the old one in for a core. That old one, I got it from a junkyard a long time ago. I normally leave the trickle charger on it, but I stole the trickle charger for something else and didn't put it back on for like a couple years. And it ran completely flat, and I tried charging it for a week or two, and it came to 2.5 volts. So it was time for a new one. I got a new dedicated trickle charger for this, so I can always leave it on there. And as long as you leave a battery charged up like that on a trickle charger, it lasts forever, right? It's running them down flat that really kills them. So, but yeah, that's my little ham radio setup. I have HTs and stuff in the house. I have Baofangs. But I normally run this. I would like to get a mobile that can do crossband repeat eventually, so that I can use my mobiles with this as a repeater and maybe raise that antenna up another 10 feet. I have some extra cable there, so I can raise it up a few feet if I need to. And you know, I left a nice bit of cable there, but I got this all set up when the pandemic first started. I went ahead and set up my antenna and stuff, just so that I'd have a radio that I could talk on while I was stuck at home, you know. And yeah, so it worked really well. I mean, the RG8 isn't the best line in the world. It has quite a bit of loss, but not a lot. That radio puts out 50 watts. And that's my stuff. I had to wash my gloves, so they've been hanging by the fan drying out. I'm getting all my parts organized for my lawnmower and stuff. So my mower, unfortunately, it's got bad compression release on the camshaft. So I bought one. I bought a new camshaft, a China one, years ago. But I figured out that the valves were just loose and I had to tighten the valves, and then it started working. Well, then it started like not wanting to crank over. I got a new battery and it worked. But now it's doing it again. I just leave this on a little trickle charger as well. It does charge okay, but I leave it on the trickle charger just to keep it topped off. But I gotta find that camshaft that I bought for this, and then it comes with a gasket. I could pull that cam unit up out of there. I don't want to use the actual cam unit, but I want to replace the compression release with the Chinese one onto the old cam and put the old camshaft assembly back in, because those China ones have a tendency to strip out and go bad. But I'll have to pull the motor off and split it apart. But right now it still starts. You just have to kind of keep hitting the key until it releases that compression on that compression stroke, and then crank her, and then she'll start up. So right now I'm good. I'm going to keep using it to cut the grass, and eventually, probably this fall when I'm done cutting grass, I'll find where I put that camshaft that I ordered, or I order another one, and we'll get this all fixed up and done. But yeah, these Anatech 17.5, 18.5 horse engines are good, except for that compression release. They have a tendency to die, but it is what it is, you know. I have a couple extra starters there too that are still good. So, yep, fun stuff. I started cleaning out behind the shed. So, if you can see, I'm just getting all the weeds and wood out of here. I'm going to cut back these trees and clean this all out, and then I'm going to buy another shed. Like, I bought this one. This one was $2,000 like years and years ago, but now they're more expensive. But I'll buy another one smaller than that one, but I'm gonna buy another one to sit here behind the shed and make that my summer kitchen for canning food and stuff. So that's a long-term project. You know, I've loaded up my truck there. If you can see, you know, it's loaded with wood. So I have to wait for my sticker to come back for my plates. They came back for all my other cars, but the truck, I didn't sign it, so they sent it to me. I signed it, I mailed it back. Now I have to wait on the sticker to come so I can go. There's a place that grinds up that firewood and takes it for free. So I'll haul all this old firewood out of here. I have to get rid of these old concrete chimney part that came off of the garage and just clean this all up back here. Then I'll get me another shed to sit back here. So, and there's an old T-frame. This one broke as well. And then I have 3 more T-frames behind the shed that broke. I'm just going to keep them. Eventually I might use them, but right now those T-frames seem to be sufficient. Garden looks happy, it's growing. Everything looks pretty happy. We had a major like flood storm last night, so everything got plenty of water, so I don't have to water today. And I did shortly before the storms, I put down fertilizer for the weekly feed for the squash, so they're all fed. And then I'm not putting down any more weekly feed for this stuff quite yet. It'll be next week and it'll be ready to start getting fed. But I replanted those beans yesterday that did not sprout, so we'll wait for those to come up. But we got plenty of green beans there, you know, and it's gonna be a good garden year. Have lots of fun. I need to get the grass cut in here again. I might do that today. I need to just get my grass cut in general. I might do that today. I don't know. It's just kind of a Memorial Day, and I'm having some fun, and I am relaxing. But I got my toolbox kind of cleaned and organized, and I had some mice in here. They ate the bird food. Now I put the bird food in a bucket. But they left. I had left the drawer open, so they left a whole bunch of stuff in here. I just cleaned all the tools, wiped it down, vacuumed out the drawers. I need to get a 13/16 and a 9/16 socket. I've lost those, so I'll have to get those. I'm keep hoping I'll come across them and find them, but I haven't yet. So they're gone. But I'm just slowly working at getting everything organized and getting her done. All right, folks. I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, your Frugal Prepper.